I'm gonna be saying a lot of unpopular opinions. I know some people are gonna agree with, some people are gonna be like, I kinda agree with you, girl. Some people are gonna just find a way to nitpick anything I say, probably don't agree with, but you know what? We all have opinions, and they're all valid. We're all different people. Yeah, so just be nice. What else? I have a lot of feelings still, even though it's been like a week for this show. I'm still in the feels, even though it happened on like it premiered on the 14th and stuff. And let's get started, shall we? On review of Voltron Season 8, which was a mess, but also I was emotional. So let's go right off. So right off the bat, I did like this season because it did make me cry, but I also agree with many other reviews that it had major flaws as compared to its previous seasons. I'm also going to say too, this review is going to be very scatterbrained. So yeah, there were a lot of major flaws. If you're wondering, I'm reading from my phone because I have like written out everything I can think of. There's a lot of major flaws for the final season, and I feel with this final season I have more questions than answers than before. Like the first 7 seasons, we got good. We had questions, we got answers. It was okay. This final season fell short very much on that, and I feel inconsistency in a lot of other stuff that happened. Disclaimer, and I'm going to repeat again. All opinions are valid, and please be respectful of others if their opinions don't align with yours. I'm going to say this for the fandom and anyone else who's watching this. Your opinions are valid. It's just my opinions may not align with yours, and that's fine, but we should be respectful for it because this fandom has not been easy. It really hasn't. I love it, but it hasn't been easy, and we need to learn to be respectful. Okay, next. My motivation for watching this show pretty much, in general, short stories that, well, my life changed very quickly. 2016 when I got into college. I stayed for the story. Like, I watched it for the story, but I stayed for the characters. I love what the show tried to bring classics of the 80s to now. Do I think they could have done it better? Yes. Yes, they could have. But that didn't seem to happen in the final season. But we got some good 80s reference. I'm not even born in the 80s. I was born in the late 90s. It was a whole new world for me. Like, I bet a lot of new fans were also like, wow, this thing is actually fun. Who knew? Five cats making a huge robot saving the space would be great. You know, who knew? Who knew that would be your new obsession for the next 2 years? I know, I'm just as shocked as I am. I was loyal and committed to the show. Okay, let's talk about why a lot of people were pissed, especially Twitter, when the season finally premiered. I would like to say too, before I watched I watched the season previous, and I'm reminded why I like season 7 as compared to season 8. Like, I do say it's a good season, but it has major flaws as to what season 7 did compared to season 8. Season 7 was good in a lot of ways, personally for me. Season 8 fell short on specific things, because here's the thing, season 7 was more about like, oh, we're preparing Earth. This is what Earth is doing before, well, Gars already took over by then, but like they were still preparing for the final stand. Season 8 was the final season where you expect everything to be wrapped up in a satisfactory ending, but in some ways it's very bittersweet, and I agree why people are pissed off at specific things. Like, I like the season until the last 5 seconds, then we need to have a discussion, because I'm just like, what? I should just take everything as is said? I know, no. So the first thing off that I have in my notes is Allura dying. I'm hearing people being like, yes, Allura dying was either terrible or either like you understand why she died, and you're just like, I'm conflicted. Here's why I'm conflicted. Finished this season, I was pissed off that Allura died. Now, Allura dying was foreshadowed 3 times. I know it's hard to say, it's gonna hurt a lot of people me telling this, especially stans of hers, but her dying was foreshadowed 3 times now that I sounded for like a week and thought back on like previous seasons. I don't agree with Allura dying. I feel there's a lot of ways, like as someone who's a shitty writer as myself, I feel there's a lot of ways the final season could have like not killed her. There's also previous shows, like this show, based on war, where the new generation is trying to defeat the older generation in a way, and all the main characters still live. Avatar, Legend of Korra. I don't see why they couldn't do that. Now, when you meet my cat, there's foreshadow. I'm gonna bring out the 3 times that I thought, like, oh my god, she died. And also another thing too, I understand she is a person of color, and I get why people are pissed off about that, which I totally agree why you are pissed about that, because she is a really good she broke up the typical stereotype of a lot of Pacific, like, princess stereotypes. Personally, I've never hated Laura. I've grown to like her. I don't find her as a Mary Sue as others have, but I really like Allura for what she stood for. Her dying, they made it as, like, it's an Altean way to die. Now, what do you mean by that? Well, first of all, let's talk about it. Also, I'm going to be mentioning another person review, Ordinary Dreamer Nadia. I love her review because her review is kind of close to mine. Seems like what I thought of the season in a way. I was usually here for the story. Yes, I am a multi-shipper. I do love Pacific ships sometimes more than others, but I'm still a multi-shipper, and I respect all of them. They're all great in their own unique way. Now, let's talk about 3 foreshadowing that she's possibly dying. Okay, her wearing the color pink for Fallen Warriors. Now, I don't know about you, but that was a cute little detail. I was like, oh, that's cute that they say pink is, like, a badass honor color for someone to die. I was like, okay. Another thing that showed that she was gonna die was, like, well, Nadia sent her video that made me go click. I'm like, oh, okay. I see you, girl. I see you. Is when Arush's color lion goddess. I remember when I watched that, I was confused too, but I was like, oh, it's gonna be mentioned in the final season. And then you have the final season, and she's now in the cosmos like Bob, and she looks so pretty, and she's being the lion goddess that she is. I still don't agree with her dying. And then the final one, you know how when they went to Orion, and Lotor and Allura both had to, like, because they have the what is it called? The symbol of the chosen, and in order to get the secrets of Orion, you have to face off the guardian who Hanover killed in the final season. Remember how Lotor killed it, and Allura was like, I'm willing to give up my life for it, for the secrets? That's pretty much, and I see why she died, but I don't agree with it. You know, it's an Altean way of dying. It's Altean meaning as to why she died, because she's the true Altean, which I totally get, but I'm just like, you didn't have to kill her off. I feel with this season's lost, like, stories, I feel they didn't close up enough, or they just put a plot device that deviated from wherever the whole slow burn of the past 7 seasons before shown us. So, okay. My next... Why? It's been my names. The next one I have about here on my notes is, Allura's is cute, but... Now, this is... I say this as nice as I can. I liked Allura's. I totally foresee Allura's happening. Yes, I land my Clancers, but I still believe that every ship is cute. I don't believe in belittling other ship. I'm just tired of it. Please stop. I don't like it. Please, please, please stop. The reason I'm, like, saying but about Allura's is because, okay, here's the thing. I want to bring in Lance Arcus too. Lance Arc, I'll also put this out here too. I'm a huge Lance stan. He has been my favorite ever since. I love him. He has grown maturely throughout each season. But the issue that pisses me off with Allura's is that it did feel very one-sided. Now, what do you mean by being one-sided? Well, I talked to others, and they were saying, well, you know what? In this relationship between Allura's and Lance kind of played a stereotypical anime girl this season, and nothing changed for him. He was a good supportive boyfriend, but nothing, he didn't, like, he used to start support Allura, but nothing helped him in his development. Because personally, okay, if you're telling me that Lance has these issues of, like, he's not good enough, or team doesn't believe he brings a lot of stuff to the table, which is false. We know he does. He has done a lot. I don't get why Allura couldn't tell him that. That's what's been bothering me. Like, I've been thinking about it. That's what's been bothering me. Like, if you're telling me he has these things, why can't Allura just bring it up to him? Then I feel it's an equal relationship. Like you could have shown us the scene of, like, Laura being like, well, Lance, you are worth it. You do show greatness. Blah, 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 blah. You are great. And then like, then it shows is, like, equal between the two of them, because they are very equal and respectful to you. I don't get why Laura couldn't do it. Like, I know we were told Shiro could have done it. Hell, Keith could have done it. I think Keith kind of did this season. But, like, it could have been a Laura. She could have been, like, she told me had greatness within, like, what, season 7? I don't know, some other season. But, like, I don't get why she couldn't tell him even more upfront. Like, no, Lance, you bring a lot to the table. I'm sorry you feel this way. I'm here to support you. Like, you're support me. Like, I don't see why we couldn't get a scene of that in season 8. So, I thought someone was coming. So that's my questions to that. Like, as someone who was watching, I was just like, you set up a lot for Lance, but now you're just making it around Allura. Now, here's the thing. I still like Allurans, but I'm also like, why couldn't they help Lance show development some more for him when they're together? It did feel one-sided. Now I think about it, it does feel one-sided, because each time, even though they kissed like 3 to 4 times this season, he was just there to support. Nothing happened to him, and I just like I know he got the symbol from her. I don't know how Altaian genetics work, but I don't understand how, like, I see how some people are saying, like, oh no, now he has this thing forever, he's gonna work at the farm, he's gonna think of Allura and be sad every time he sees that. I'm gonna throw you a positive hit cannon for whatever ship you want. I see it as he moves on after we know she's in a couple. She's probably somewhere in alternate reality, you know, having a kid of her own with Lance. And I see it as he moves on, and anytime he's sad, Allura, like, his symbols will shine, and Allura's there to come for him, and she's proud that he's moving on. That's how I see it as. I still see the ending also open-ending for that reason. Because I was like, man, Lance was so sad this season. I was like, I'm still salty that I personally feel he got done dirty, and Allura for that. Like, Allura's cute. I'm not dismissing that at all. They're adorable. I totally saw that coming. It was the thing for me too in Allura. I was like, oh, she's not gonna die. It's a kid's cartoon. You know, like Avatar, Legend of Korra. None of those main characters die. They still made a good show in the end. And then she died. I still don't agree with that decision. I'm sorry. And another thing, I also saw Renee Dream mention, a lot of people mentioned Lance becoming a farmer. I could see how people see it as, like, racist. And I'm also trying to see people being positive about it. I'm just like, personally, like Nadia said in hers, I wish he could have been, like, an instructor in the Galaxy Garrison. If I was a head writer too, I would also say, yeah, let's put him as a head, like, you know how, like, Shiro is to him? Let him be like that to the new Garrison people. Like, I don't see why they couldn't make that as his dream. It's just, like, he'd be a cool farmer. I know he's called Tinker, but, like, no, let's not. Let's make him be, like, a new pilot instructor. Because of Shiro and other stuff. That's why he's here in the Garrison, right? Can you tell I'm conflicted and in the middle? Like, I do agree why people are angry, but I also try to find a positive in it, but also I'm just like, but why did it have to end this way? I totally am just as, like, I swear to God, I went on Twitter and I was like, I'm just really numb. Because I feel Lance got done so dirty and I relate to him too hard. Like, I get it. Like, I get why people self-insert to the characters because they're relatable. And how can you not like Lance? He's great. He has grown so much. He was like this cocky dude grown into a leader. And now he just dwindled to a love interest, and his whole thing is about Laura. I'm just like, okay, I talked to someone who's family, and he watched the show. Now, the only reason he liked Lance is because he got the girl, and part of me wanted to say, like, no, Lance is more than just getting the girl character. He is more than that. He's a lot more thing than that, and that really ticked me off. Like, that annoyed the crap out of me. But yeah, the whole thing about that's also a mess in itself. People are valid for being pissed because he's also a representational character, like Hank, Shiro and Keith, and Allura. Man, can you tell I'm still numb? I'm very still numb, and it's been a week. It's been a literal week, and has the fandom cooled down a way? Yes and no. Depends where you are and where you are on social media and who you're following. That's how I'm seeing it as. Okay, did Lotor deserve to die? I'm gonna say this really hard now. No, he did not deserve to die. I'm sorry. I feel him dying was a very inconvenient death for the final season now that I think about it. I'm just like, I'm sorry. Didn't him and Allura have, like, feelings they haven't come to terms yet? Like, I know he played himself, but isn't Allura still, like, hurt over him? How is she falling for Lance so quick in, like, 2 seasons? It makes no sense. I will bring back the flaws of the season and with the whole Voltron thing and the alleged tea we're hearing in general. Because I'm just like, wait, that makes no sense. Like, why? Like, it doesn't make any sense. Latour still has things to finish and Lothar just conveniently dies. I'm sorry, like, he conveniently dies. Who here thinks it's not over? I don't think it is. It just makes no sense. Because, like, yes, I still think him and Allura need to figure their ish out. And then on top of it, he never realized, like, he knows Hagar was Minerva. He could have had his final talk with her and be the one to kill her. I don't think it should have been Allura to kill her in the whole reality thing. Like, come on. Like, also, if Lotor killed Minerva, like, in the Gold Lion thing, I watched Fictional Crystals, and she mentioned in one of her theories, like, oh yeah, in that whatever Gold Lion show that was, he killed her in the end. Why can't that happen? Why can't they have a last word and he killed her? You know? I see that more, I understand that better, because it's also like an 80s reference to a death of how she dies, but they have their final words. Yeah, I find it as a convenient death, and I also feel with Lotor, he could have been like our Space Zuko. I'm sorry. I think he could have been a Space Zuko for a lot of reasons. He's misguided, tragic soul. I think he had personally one of the most gruesome deaths in this whole season. If you see the screen cap of his death, they can't even show the front. So you're gonna think, oh shit, man, in that final fight, they really must have took him out, because that must mean, like, his body and all his stuff is everywhere. Like, I'm just like, Lotor doesn't deserve this. I'm sorry. I'm one of those people who didn't like him season 3. I'm also the people who knew he was going to turn bad season 6. But you know what? I still liked him. He could have got redemption. And then he conveniently dies the final season. Like, just think about that. Like, he pulled a Loki on us season 3. Season 6 he pulled Nazula and went crazy, and in season 7 he just died. It could have happened, he pulled Zuko, and then the show would have continued. We're still not done yet. And then I would feel like, okay, Latour, like, at least became bros, or like they're still friends in some way. Then I would get why Lawrence can come in. But because he just conveniently dies, and somehow Allura just is okay with it, I'm like, this is not realistic. I'm sorry. It's just, I can't. And, like, she did pull a Princess Yue. I don't think she had to pull a Princess Yue. I'm sorry. At least with Princess Yue, it made sense, because it was the first season, and I don't know his name, but that asshole of that Fire Nation guy, I forgot his name, he's Ruta Zuko. He was the one who killed the, like, you know, those yin yang souls, fishes, whatever, and killed the white one. That's why she died. At least that makes sense to me. But with Allura becoming multiverse, I'm just like, again, she didn't have to die, and again, I don't think Lotor was done figure out the feelings. Personally, I think Lotor really did love Allura, even though they kissed once. It's obvious they have a lot more in common, they could have been what Minerva and Zarkon could have been, but that didn't happen either, so discussions. I don't know. It's just why. Also, I like Lotor. He was funny. He could have been like a really awkward Zuko with like beautiful hair. Like, Zuko also had gray hair. I don't see why you couldn't get a redemption arc. I really don't understand why you couldn't get a redemption arc. Okay, another topic that I'm going to talk about, and I know there's a lot of discussion. I see a lot of that on my timeline on Twitter. The whole Shirtis versus Shaddam talk, okay? Now, what is Shirtis and what is Shaddam? Well, let me tell you, because it's just, Man, it's really hard to understand this fandom at sometimes. But then again, they are valid for their opinions. Sure it is the ship between Curtis and Shiro. You know, his husband, who kisses at the end of the show. Then you have Shadam, who is Shiro's ex-fiance, who did die in season 7. Now, here's my thing about it. For both ships, I think both ships are cute in their own way, in their own fan and content. I was never a fan of Adam in the canon world. I don't really like him. You're valid to like him. I just didn't like him. With Curtis, I do like him because the only scene I remember really highly of him, I know he was in season 7 too, is he tried to tell Aksha and she's just being hella angsty and he's just being a chill dude. For me personally, did we need that wedding at the end? I also know people said it came in last minute. Personally, no. I wanted Shiro's backstory more in his family and stuff, because he is our rep in this show. Whether he ended up with Adam, whether he ended up with Curtis, I would have been fine with him solo. He's the rep alone. I don't agree with every LGBTQ character to end up with someone means that they are LGBTQ. No, he could have just gone solo. He didn't need the wedding. I know why they did the wedding, and also I'm like, I don't feel like I know it could have done better. Just saying. That's all I feel about it. Cause Shiro's a great guy, and I like how I agree with Nine on this. He is known as Space Dad. We didn't learn he was gay until. Was it season 7? No, I think we were told that, the Comic-Con or something, and they said, oh yeah, he's gay, and he had X, and then we had the whole thing about Shadam going on to fandom. I would have been fine just Shiro going solo. Personally, I wanted to know more of his backstory.
Hi, Editing Cat here. Adding on to the Shiro conversation I had in this part of the video. Yeah, what happened to Shiro's and his backstory? I feel like everyone else, we kind of know their backstory, and Shiro's just kind of like, well, he marries Curtis in the end, no backstory. And I kind of wanted that. DreamWorks, Lauren, Joaquin. I feel like it's important, I think, because everyone else's arc had a reason with family behind it, especially Pidge. So when we didn't get that for Shiro, I was just like, that. He deserves one too. I want to know his family. Why is he like this? How is he like as a kid? So yeah, just wanted to put that in here. Okay, bye guys.
Because that didn't happen. So in my fanverse, I want to make sure my Shiro gets a freaking awesome family, because I was kind of annoyed with that. I was just like, well, what about his family? What is That's how I feel. I think Shiro, we deserve to know what happened to his, what does his family think of it? Their thoughts on him being one of the most badass prodigy type of admiral in the garrison. Because of Shiro, we wouldn't have the 4 other characters in the show. What's more in his backstory? That's what more I wanted this season. That didn't seem to happen. He got a wedding. I'm not nothing against it. I'm just saying, I feel he could have just gone solo. That's just my opinion. Again, I said I have very unpopular opinions. Hopefully it's not just me. But, yeah. So, I brought up loose ends that did not get answered in Season 8. And I'm gonna say what I wrote here and add on top of my head what other stuff we didn't get. Lance dying, coming back. Yeah. What happened to that? We never mentioned that again? I know Laura brought him back. What about telling the team that? Come on. You could have had, a whole interaction between the team and him realizing, oh my god, I am worthy of this team. I bring a lot to this team. Another one! Season 4 finale. Keith almost dying. What happened to that conversation? I'm just as confused as you are. Next. Lance, Altean sword. Yeah, for an Altean sword, given he was one of the pilots that unlocked 3 Bayards really quick, and it made sense, because he's growing, he's a developing character. I feel like there was more to his Alfor sword, the Daltane sword. I feel it was more than that. What happened? Like, what happened with that? Keith almost going full Gara. Yeah, what was with that too? Because the closest thing we got to Gara Keith is Black Paladins when Shiro and Keith were, well, scratch that. The clone and Keith were fighting each other, and he got fangs, he got like the yellow eyes, you know, Keith looking hot and very well being a badass at the same time. It's great. And then we never got Keith going full Gara. Here's my thing. If he was supposed to go full Gara, I feel it would have been in Honora's mind when he was trying to try to get Pitch back up again. Because, like, he was the most pissed and angry, and his friends were going away. He is part Gara, right? Am I wrong? I don't think so. I don't get why we didn't get Keith full Gara. I was waiting for that to happen. I was like, Keith is pissed. Oh no, Keith is pissed. And he never went full Gara. And then I had this phase of disappointment when it happened. Because we were told he was gonna go Gara. He has powers. Didn't happen. Next, Keith got a name. Now, if you're in the fandom, as much as I have been, we call him Tex Cocaine because he a Texan in some way? Most likely. I know Keith grows up to look like him a lot. Yeah, his name. What about his name? We knew Allura's mom's name way before, and we finally meet her and Kimberly voiced her, but I'm just like, what about Keith? That name, he's pretty important. Especially the Keith's arc. Like, what happened? Also, that's why I have my list, but I'm gonna add more. 2, we never got Lance Garrison, Galaxy Garrison, flashbacks. What happened to those? Also, Keith and Loder never met each other, even though they also have a lot of things in common. He saved him like across Sarah, right? What happened? Like, they could have had an interaction. What other stuff happened? There's a lot. I will say though, this season had the most inconsistency out of all of them. I have like a hair, and I could feel it, but I don't know where it is. Do I look weird? Probably. But like, what happened? All these inconsistency. What is this? Like Voltron, usually your strong suit is consistency, or you mention something one season and it's answered the next season. What happened in this season where it literally was like all these new things that happen out of nowhere that magically works? And I'm just like, that makes... I also feel too in some, like the last final episodes were very... There was more fighting scenes, like the animation is beautiful and great. I love Studio Mirror's animation, but there's like so many fight scenes, I'm just like, more than usual. A lot of random upgrades out of nowhere. What's going on? Like, what? Like, I don't know either. I'm just as confused. I'm just like, why is so many things going on? How are the characters filmed this? Because I'm just so overwhelmed by so many random stuff going on. I don't know. I don't know. I really don't know. That's one of the biggest flaws of season 2. It was that inconsistency. It didn't... Everything previous seasons made sense to some extent, and in this season it was like, consistency, who? I don't know what that is, and threw it out the window. That's literally what happened. Okay. Positive canon moments I did enjoy. Let's just bring some positivity into this, like, very... I try to say I'm in the middle, but I don't know, I'm conflicted. Can you blame me? Positive moments I do want to bring up, because we can't dismiss those positive moments. Because they are good moments, and I appreciate them. Kincaid. Can we just talk about how much I love Kincaid? If he was a YouTuber, I would subscribe to him. I love Kincaid. I love Nadia. I love how she and him were just... I think that episode was really interesting to me to see, like, they kind of took you around the world on, like, the Atlas and like, their life, what they're doing and stuff. I love Kincaid, man. He's hilarious. I love Nadia. She's also a great wing girl. I love her. I love her so much. I love all MFEs. They're personally my favorite. Every time they came up, I did laugh. James Griffin was a mode. I can never pronounce the girl that's like Pitch. I don't know how to pronounce her name. Sorry to the stands of hers. I liked her too. Like, their interaction as a group is really cute. I love them. And I know a lot of people don't like Holtz, the Holt family, but I love the Holt family. I love Colleen's bitch reaction. It's a really, oh, it's such a good interaction between both of them. Like, I feel like, yes, a daughter and mother would interact. They're just such dorks, and I love them. I also love Colleen. In the end, too, I kind of like that Colleen's the one who's making the garden, and yet Pitch is the one who said, like, what season was it? Season 1 that she needed to make a garden, but in the end, her mom is doing the garden. I love them. Another positive thing that happened in this season that I do like, I love Hunk as a wingman, especially in the first episode, because Lance was too scared to ask Allura, and he just, like, legit, like, took him, pushed him toward the direction where she is, and just, like, go ask her out, and he watched him try to, like, to ask her out. It was so good. I was like, oh, I love Hunk. Like, I really do. Hunk is those character, and I'm glad was the voice of reason. He has done so many things. His arc, I like too. Like, he has grown to be such a diplomatic chef who can bring in the voice of reason when we need, and I love him so much. Another good positive things. I feel like there's so much, and I'm blanking on it right now because I didn't write it down. I feel like for me this season 2, until you have Pacific episode, I feel too much stuff was going on and it was too squished. There was a lot. Oh, Clear Day. I really like that one. That episode was my personal favorite because you see Shiro finally being a little space that he is. He uses new arm and he finally defeats that one guy. What was it? The guard that was in charge of Slav and the Yepper, and he beated him. I'm so glad that Shiro got to be, like, hang out with everyone and do whatever he wanted, because the clone was the one who played, like, their version of Dungeons and Dragons. So I really love that. That was, like, really fun. I like how Paige got Allura something sparkly. I really like that. I love how I really love Heath's friendship, or you ship them or not. I really like their friendship, especially in this season when they were on, like, their version of It's the Small World. And Keith's just like, I don't want to be here anymore. And then it keeps breaking the freaking, like, the Small World version of it just keep breaking. And I'm just like, that's hilarious. And he just, like, cut his way out of it. And Annika's the one who's enjoying. I'm just like, oh my god, I love Honey. Like, it just, he's so good. And then the whole thing with Pidge and her family, and she already used up all her coins. She's like, Dad, I need new coins. I feel that. Like, I've done that with my parents too. And her mom's like, if you take a picture of this, then you could get 10 of them. And she's like, fine, I'll do it, but I'll only smirk. I'll smile, but she didn't really do the smile. And just like, she ran away. I love the whole family. I love Bebe too. Bebe's hilarious. But I think that's personally one of my favorite episodes, but also, like, I feel that episode, though, Lord, like, I know why she took the Space Demon, but also I'm like, girl, you don't need to take the Space Demon. This is why we are, like, why we have so many things that happen in the universe that you guys had to defend it, because freaking Hanura had to take Space Demon 10,000 years ago before, and now she's crazy and psycho. Don't take it, but she still took it anyway. And I'm just like, this is not gonna end well. And I was right. It did not end well. It was very bittersweet. Now I'm also making this video where we have been told of alleged cheese. I wouldn't mind some alleged cheese. Alleged tea that was boiling hot from DreamWorks interns. Now, personally, for me, I've seen the sources. Part of me, I'm going to give it the benefit of the doubt. But part of me is like, I don't really believe it. Have you seen our political stuff? I can't trust things anymore, you know what I mean? So, alleged tea that has coming out. And pretty much what the alleged tea is so many things. Like, they said, like, Laura Montgomery. If it was like a thing, like, Laura Montgomery wanted Pacific ship to end it, and someone else wanted Pacific ship to end. I know one of them wanted Kalora, I know one of them wanted Lawrence. We did get a Lawrence. Didn't live that long in Canonverse, but and then someone went to Kalura, which is the original OTP the original couple in the Voltron universe. Now here's the thing about it, and I agree with Naughty on this very, very strongly. I love her video about this. She's a lot more funnier than I am. I agree with her that everyone was at fault. From the showrunners to behind the scenes, I don't know, DreamWorks executives to the fandom. Now, I'm going to say, too, the fandom doesn't have a clear record of being a really, really satisfied fandom every time a season came out. I feel every time a season came out, either someone liked it, someone didn't like it, someone found a way they didn't like the episodic shift didn't happen, someone didn't like it how... Like, there's always something someone did not like in this fandom. They were never satisfied per each season. I was one of those fans, I'm still one of those fans that I still say, like, yeah, the seasons before season 8 were pretty good. Nothing against it. At least those make more sense to me now than this season. But, it was a mess. I think everyone's at fault. We need to give accountability to the showrunners and DreamWorks, because I feel in a lot of ways, too, were there some queer baiting in a way? Yes. Before, I would have said no. But now I'm like, in a way, kind of, yeah. Like, I feel like Clarence kind of did get queer baited because it was one of the most popular ship. Now, if you like it or not, that's fine. Like, I like it, but I'm not going to shove my ship down your throat to say to like it or not. We all have our own preferences. But I do feel now, I agree with others now, that we did get queer baited on that. I'm not saying it was right to do that. No, I don't think at all it was right to do, but it still happened. It's sad that that happened. It's sad a lot of things that both sides were at fault. Also, like, this fandom has been extreme, I feel, especially after season 2 premiered, before we got Lotor into the mix. It was always on fire. I had to learn personally from this fandom to take a break off the internet because my mental health could have been really bad. It wasn't good for me. I learned to get off specific website, like social medias, to take care of myself, and you should do the same. It's just how it is, and you need to be careful. Like, I know a lot of the other voice actors have tried to be positive and tried to understand where people are coming from, because again, as I'm making this video, as of now, DreamWorks has been silent, and I can understand why a lot of people are pissed about that, and I'm just like, I know they're waiting for it to calm down, but I know reviews are going to be coming out anyway, because we all have an opinion to say, because as someone who has been liking the canon world, and who has really... Voltron kind of become a show for me that's kind of sentimental, because it has helped me in a lot of ways in what to do as a writer and what not to do as a writer now, and like, it made me appreciate a lot of little things in life and give myself more credit when I want to make specific things, and it's very sentimental to me that way. Everyone's story is different, but DreamWorks being silent is not helping their case. I do know Lauren Montgomery and Joaquin are part of Spider-Verse, and I know that movie looks good, and I need to watch it. I heard a lot of people say it's good, and I can't wait to see it. But I don't agree that, even though you don't agree with how this season ended, it doesn't mean you try to pretty much take away their career. I don't think that's fine. Again, I agree though, everyone's at fault. I agree that there's a lot of things they could have done better in handling a lot of stuff. I will say though, Josh Keaton got death threats. His family got death threats. He had to make a Tumblr post to tell pretty much the fandom, hey, I cannot answer ship questions anymore because my family's getting death threats. Josh Keaton is still a person. Jeremy Shad is also just a person. He can't just like the fandom. People go like, oh my god, Clarence is canon. Like, okay, I understand you're a voice actor and you are a character, yeah, you rep. Like, you kind of like the fan art you get for it. You can appreciate it because someone out in the world who's very talented put their time and effort to make a really good fan art and you liked it. It shouldn't mean you like it equates it to being canon. No, for all you know, you're appreciating it, and I respect that. You know what I mean? Same thing with fanfics. Like, someone in their life, for free, made this for the fandom. Him liking it should not have equated, a lot of them should not equated to be like, oh, it's a thing. Like, no. I think a lot of ship words kind of tarnished this fandom really quick and made it really, really toxic. Toxic. I swear I can talk. There's a lot of belittling in all the shippers, I feel personally. That also did not make the fandom space as welcoming. Like, I'm not saying there isn't good parts of this fandom. No, I have found my people in this fandom. But I've also interacted with people who just don't want to hear, or they ignored my opinions, and I'm just like, well, that's not welcoming. So I took myself that situation. That wasn't a good experience either. So yeah, this fandom, it is toxic. Yes, you can find good people, but it's generally toxic. More of the, like, people who really do not like the season are a bigger audience. I'm small. I know I'm small. I know a lot of people not ever see this, but you know what? I have an opinion too. You can like it or disagree with it. That's the whole beauty of having a fandom, and we have discussions. Yeah. I also do believe a lot behind the scenes, especially for this season in particular, is why the season was a very huge disappointment in a lot of ways. I brought them up before. The inconsistencies were gigantic this season. Yes, Allura was foreshadowed. Do you still want to kill her? I don't think you should have. His arc could have been a lot better too. I'm still going to be forever salty about that because I do love Lance for what he is, and a lot of people can relate to him. I think a lot of stuff behind the scenes is why this season was a disappointment for a lot of people. I do say it was a good season in parts, but there's a lot of important parts where I feel it did feel completely short. And DreamWorks and a lot of the execs need to understand that. Like, it's just sad that we got, like, such a disappointment largely because of what happened in the show. And not... The whole show in the first season was really good, because you're just giving little things here and there, and you're hoping by the next seasons or later seasons you're gonna get answers, which we did for a good run until the final season. Then you're like, what? This makes no sense. Like, I'm not even a writer. I know I'm a crappy writer. I'm still learning too, but I'm like, shouldn't you, what? Like, that was my reaction the whole time. Just like, but that makes no sense. Like, a lot of things did not make any sense this season. Like, it just came out of nowhere and it just magically worked. And you're just like, that makes... Like, I get it if you said it a season before you mentioned something and then you brought it back up, like, the final season. Now I'd be like, okay, makes sense now, because you knew what was going to happen. Because of the inconsistency and the... It's just because of the inconsistency as to why the season was not good. And I'm sorry to say that, because I really love the animation. I love the soundtrack. I love these characters to bits. I love a lot of things from the show. I love what the topics they did bring up. I love how... Like, it is a kid's cartoon, but it went pretty dark. It is a reboot, but they could have done this so much better. And I agree with the fandom on that. It's just, they could have just done better. I'm just gonna be... Oh, another thing too. With the whole thing with the voice actors, I've interacted with some. I'm grateful that I have interacted with some. Those being AJ... I can never pronounce his last name, but I love his voice acting for Lotor and James Griffin. He's great. He's hilarious. I love his Twitter. Neil Kaplan's another guy who I can also respect, who's also just as sweet in interacting with the fandom. I know some people don't want to interact with voice actors, but I like that I did. I know I did interact with Barley before season 7. I know what they said, a lot of people didn't agree with. My interaction was pretty sweet. They were really nice. Season 7 was... I liked that season. But I know Neil tried to talk to others about, like, how people felt about the season, and he's getting hate for that. And personally, I feel like none of the voice actors should deserve the hate they did get before the final season. I feel they've been... Like, I know they're voice actors. They've probably been in the spotlight a long time, but it's still not okay. I feel the fandom has stepped... I think with this show in particular, and with the fandom and the creators, we need to learn boundaries. We need to make boundaries between the fans and the creators. Because we have social media, we have easier interaction with them. But we need to find a literal line to know where you pushed it or not, because I feel there's too many times in this fandom that people, the fans, have pushed too hard that I feel they need to get there needs to be a consequence for it. I don't.
Again, hi guys. Back to what I was saying about the boundaries between the Voltron fandom and the creators. Because of inconsistency and things we didn't really get, and all the hate they get, I don't think it was okay for the hate they got. You can like a voice actor, you can hate a voice actor, don't interact with them if you don't want to, it's your choice, but I don't believe the hate they got was valid in all ways. Even if if they've been in the spotlight forever, I don't think it was okay for them to get the hate as much as they did. Keenan got so much hate, even though he's like one of the nicest guy out there. He done a lot for the fam. He made like, since I've made this video, he's made like two videos. I think it's two videos for the Voltron fan, and he made one with about Sven, and he showed us the vlogging of like their final panel. Keenan's a great guy. He does deserve the hate got. AJ got kind of negativity too on him because I think it was before whatever season we got Kuro in, and we had like the Monster and Magic episode in, and he was joking on Twitter, and he says something like, "Keith, you know, being Pretty Princess," and then fan art Pretty Princesses came out of Keith, which is cute because you know Keith could slay the dress, and he got hate for that. I know Bex, people don't like Bex. I feel so bad for them. Like, here's the thing. They still give their voice for you to Pidge, and Pidge is a great character. I love for what she does stand for, and Beck's been getting a lot of hate. She couldn't go to Pacific Cons just because of safety, and it's so sad that they couldn't do that. I know Neil had gotten hate, like I mentioned previous in the clip before this. He's getting so much hate because he's trying to talk with fans who are just so sad and angry. Like, I get you're angry and sad. The voice actors didn't know how this was going to end because, like us, they also had to watch the show once it got out on Netflix, like we did, same time, and they finally had time to watch it. And it's sad of all the hate they got, and like I don't think it's fun at all to send hate to another human being over it. I don't think it's okay. Same thing with, like, okay, a while back, I remember hearing about people hating on Laura Montgomery. Laura Montgomery is a woman, okay? There's a lot more women animators and people creators in this cartoon industry. More of them are coming out, which is great. That we deserve more women in that. Nothing wrong with that, because the thing with the industry is more male dominated. I don't think it's okay to dismiss or belittle Laura Montgomery. If you don't like Laura Montgomery, don't watch her stuff. You don't have to just send her hate on like social media, like, "Oh, Lauren, we don't like you," or something like that. I saw a lot of people being like that on my Twitter timeline, and that really annoyed me because I'm like, guys, she's also human. Yes, we can agree that the season isn't good. Yes, we can agree on a lot of other things, but this is not okay for you to hurt her career and Joaquin's over it. I feel personally a lot of their freedoms were taken away, most likely from the DreamWorks, so, because it's their boss in the end, right? I blame it more on DreamWorks. They were just the middle people telling us stuff, and it's sad to see, because, like, a good example, I think it was DreamWorks, is because if you, there's like this, there's just like this picture for if you go on Netflix, and the screen thing would be like for Voltron, it was with Adam and Shiro. I think the marketing crew was at fault for that because they obviously know the fan loves the ship and is pretty much square-baiting the ship. I don't think Lauren deserved the hate she did get. I know she's done a lot of things that I don't agree with, that she shouldn't like responded to. I agree with, but doesn't mean you just send her full-on hate, you know? This is why we have fan content. If you are just as annoyed or just as salty over something, make it in spite in your creation, your content. Like I'm, again, still salty about Lance. I may be pissed about it in the canonverse, but it's not going to stop my Vanon content. I can make whoever I want my Lance-like character to get what he gets in his story. Because I know I'm in control of the fanon content. That's the beauty of canon content. I don't believe that these real human people deserve the hate they did get. They have gone, I think, like 3 extreme interactions with this fandom. It could be more, but like the first one I could think of was when the Clancer tried to this is real. I'm not kidding. This Clancer tried to blackmail Studio Mir to make Clans canon. Well, see, last season that didn't happen, and they blackmail about it. And then I know we had another scenario where someone said like there was a screenshot of Keith in Lance's jacket, and then people went off crazy on that, right? Especially on Tumblr, and that was crazy. And then another time, the final one I could think of is Bex knew it first. I think it was like someone's story on Instagram, and they were saying on the post on their story that they wanted people and like trolls and other people to go attack DreamWorks, and I'm just like, what? Like, these are people. These are their jobs. I know you're angry over a cartoon ship not being not gonna happen, but it doesn't mean it's valid for you to try to take someone's job away or hurt someone over a 2D character. You know what I mean? Like, yes, love a cartoon. Yes, love a character, but it doesn't mean you have to hurt a real person in real life just because this fictional 2D character didn't end up with someone. That's the whole thing with me that pisses me off about this fandom. And it's not cool. It's really not. If you just don't want to deal with these specific people anymore, just don't follow them. Mute them. Block them. Do anything you can, but you don't have to send hate and actually like try to physically hurt these people. These are people in real life too. Keenan doesn't deserve it. AJ doesn't deserve it. Neil doesn't deserve it. Bex doesn't deserve it. Hell, Riot Darby, Kimberly Brooks. Is there more people I'm forgetting? Riot Darby, Kimberly, Jeremy, Steven Yeun. Like, no one deserves any hate from anyone just because their characters didn't end up who they thought. I see that with a lot of sheathers now. I've made a lot of great sheathers. It's sad that some of them are just going crazy right now ever since season 8. Same thing with Clancers. Like, guys, be salty about it, yeah, but don't, in spite, just make your content for you, for that ship. That will make you happier. Just don't try to destroy someone's career over it. It's not cool. And two, another thing also, if you don't want to watch any more Lauren Montgomery, Joaquin Dos Santos, you can't watch Avatar anymore or like Wonder Woman's cartoon movie, because both of them were in those shows in some way. Because Joaquin was in like Avatar's directing at the last episodes, and Lauren produced that movie, and she's also in Spider-Verse. I would like to fix that correction, but like, yeah, please don't try to destroy others' whole career over 2D characters, okay? We're all humans. We all have feelings. They're all valid, but doesn't mean it's okay for you to try to destroy someone else's career over that. Yeah, so back to the video. Back to your scheduled programming. Hey guys, sorry, I'm back. I just want to add in here, because I had technical difficulties. I lost my whole first editing, so I'm just going to add this in here and stuff. I know I look like a mess. Also, Happy New Year's 2019 now. Woo! We survived! We have survived 2019. But anyway, I also want to add on to what this show has also missed in a lot of things of what what loose ends they did not finish up technically in this show. And I'm sorry for the previous clips. I was mumbling a lot, and even I noticed that, and I'm so sorry if you didn't understand. What I meant to say was, like, I feel like Latora's feelings for each other got cut short. Lotor's death was convenient, and just because it was the last season, they had to have a ship that ended again because it's the final season. So, yeah. I never was very explicit with that, but yeah, that's what I think. None of those ends they never really talked about. Now that it's been a month now, because it's January. One, James and Keith's rivalry. Why was he staring at him so hard? What is their backstory behind it? Like, I feel with this show in particular, like, everyone's like, oh yeah, Lance and Keith are rivals. But in actuality, it was actually James and Keith who are rivals. But what's James' deal with Keith? Like, we never got answers for that. Like, oh my god, it's like a really, like a stare down from both of them, and I'm just like, wait, I want more. Like, why is he pissed? Like, I know Keith is the natural pilot. Cheryl brought him to the garrison. He's really talented. He's obviously effortless at being a pilot. But James is like
the honor student and stuff like that. Like, I don't understand why they couldn't just tell us stuff like this. And the same thing with the Lawrence. I also want to like make more sense and say a lot clearer now that I'm embarrassed by my previous clips. I wish Allura was the one, even though it was Keith this season. I really appreciate that Keith is the one who told him that too. But I wish also, if you want to make Allurance more noticeable in this show, they could have literally made Allura be the one to tell him, "Yeah, Lance, you're great. You're doing great, sweetie. I'm here for you, protect you. We are in this together." I wish they showed that, but they didn't, and I'm still like ticked by that. Also, even though I still believed Lovator, Lance, and Allura got done dirty, I'm still gonna make fanon content or inspired characters around these characters because they're great characters, and I love that the creators have made these characters. If you have watched this review, as long as that it's very in the middle. I'm still in the middle. Canon could be, well, the ending was bittersweet, but I still like what Canon has given us, what has rebooted these characters from their 80s version to now. I'm so tired of the hate. I'm only here for discussions. I also was here for the story. It's sad that the story really, like, it fell short. It fell short real quick. Like, 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 as someone who's trying to write and saw how Voltron was showing how the story was going, I was so sad about how it ended. I'm just like, why? Now it's open-ended, so do whatever you want in fanon, you know what I mean? Also, I am a multi-shipper. I do love Clance is my first one, for sure, that I love. I also love Shallura. I see them as bros now. But also, too, if someone HC Shiro as specific, even though he's the gay character, let them ship the headcanon. It's their headcanon. It's not gonna hurt you. Please stop hurting people if their headcanon doesn't sit well with you. Like, stop. Just please stop. Just do that. Just stop. If you don't like them, again, mute, block, unfollow. Don't interact, you know? It's very simple, you know? What other things I have to say? Yeah, I still stand Lance. You're gonna see my thumbnail. I still stand Lance because he's a really great character. He has grown. Could his arc have been written out better? Yes. Could it not just surround around Laura? Yes. But you know what? I still love Lance. He is that character who I found I relate a lot to. A lot of people say I'm a hunk. I think I'm very hunk online. But I really love Lance. Like, I'm just like, Lance, you dork! Like, do I wish he got the bi-arc like I hoped? Yes. But you know what? My fanon character inspire off him's gonna be bi. I do whatever I want in fanon. Because it's my power and control. Yeah, that's another thing. Also, another positive thing I might mention earlier before this, she did co-pilot the merging between Alice and Voltron, and I'm very proud of both of them. Colavan is so hilarious in this season. I love Colavan. I wish we learned more of him and his backstory. Like, does him and Crowley date again? Like, I do hope maybe we get a spin-off. In some ways, I know the fandom is still, like, I feel a lot of us have gone through a lot of emotions of the ending of the show, but, I really wish a little more of Colavan. Like, a lot more stuff. I agree with Nadia, Ordinary Dream, and her one, of how this show should have been longer. It was more longer, it had bigger seasons, longer, like, if it had, like, Avatar's kind of running, even though it was live, like, Avatar season 1 has, like, what, almost, like, 20 plus episodes, and then, the last 2 seasons have, like, a little bit more. I think Voltron would have been better, but because it was, I feel they have a lot of free, for me personally, just my theory, I feel like a lot of their freedom was taken. There's a lot of deadlines and a whole other factors in there. The Lich T, one can doubt, one can think about, like, oh, that's a possibility, because again, everyone's at fault. So, I love all the characters still. I love all the voice actors. I think Voltron is a good example of what to not do during the hiatus period for your seasons. I feel Dragon Prince personally has caught on to that, and they're like, oh, we need to give something to the fandom for them to, like, hold on to until the season comes. I don't know about Shira yet, but I know the Voltron was not good at handling that. I still love the creators of what they did brought and what they did touch on in the show. Now, some people won't agree with me, but this is just my opinion. Because they do touch on race, they do touch on, like, even though Altanes and Agaras are two different races, they could both be equally bad. You know what I mean? It's not just like one's the good one, one's the bad one. No, like they're equally just as bad. I wish we learned more of Aksha's backstory. I feel a lot of us got that feeling. Like I know when people were like the worst scenario is Aksha. I'm like, I want to know why. Like they saved each other 3 times. Why? Just I want to know more. As a writer, well, newbie writer, I'm learning from me and my own inspired / fix-it stories, like, to give backstories to characters to make them more authentic, more real, more why are they like this way? What's their whole, like, what's the word? I can't find words today. The whole motivation in this whole story, or revamp or fix it. So, yeah, I'm just... Also, too, I'm sorry to the people I told on Twitter that this is a late vid. I'm so sorry. My computer messed up. I lost all my editing, and I was all sad, and I just got frustrated. I had to, like, give myself a break to not go on my computer, else I would, like, throw it. I don't want to do that. So, I'd rather not. But, yeah, I think Voltron, for me personally, has filled a void, because long story short, I wasn't here when Avatar was on. Like, I was here in the US when Avatar finished, and I was here when Nickelodeon did, like, the whole rerun, but Voltron filled the void for me for watching stuff live with people behind, like, Legend of Korra and Avatar. Like, the Dragon Prince is doing the same thing, and I really love that, because I was never those young kids who watch Avatar every, like, Friday, 8 to Central or something like that, and I was always sad about that, but Voltron kind of filled that void for me. I've loved all the voice actors. I actually go through a lot. Steven Yeun is really talented. If you only just watch Voltron, watch all his other cartoons he's in, because he is a very talented man, and he deserves all the loves and hearts and everything, because he's great. Same thing with Josh Keane. He was young Hercules. He voiced young Hercules. Do you understand how much I'm so happy about that? I love that movie, even though it was very inaccurate. But, like, he is so talented, and I really love Keaton for that. Same thing with AJ. I can never pronounce your last name. If you ever see this, I'm sorry. I don't want to mess it up. If I try now, I will butcher it. It'd be Lacosta? Lacosta? I don't know. What else? Kimberly's also great. She's a Steven Universe, and I knew it for his Jasper. Kimberly, you are talented. I love you. Bryce Darby's a great guy. I think he's great. Neil Kaplan is a sweetheart. I'm going to reiterate and put this in here. I still don't agree with them getting hate. If you don't like a specific voice actor, just don't follow them. If you don't like a specific showrunner or person in there, don't follow them. Just don't interact with them. I think these people, even though we're all at fault, I think we should have, like, they deserve a better fandom. They kept getting hate every season, no matter what they said or what they did online. And it's so sad to see that happen, because the show was good. It is still good. It's still beautiful. Its soundtrack is still slime. I'm still on season 2, and I'm still like, no, I'm on season 2, and I'm still shocked about it. I'm just like, it's just so good, and the animation, it's Studio Mirror. My god, can you, like, do the reboot of Percy Jackson, please? Because we deserve a well-made adaptation, and I will love you to be the one behind it, because I will die happily. Please. Also think about the money. You do it right. Just saying. Anyways, so, yeah. So, all in all, my thoughts on Voltron, I say 3 mores. It's like a C for me. It has its ups, it has its downs. Could the ending be better? Yeah, but see, it's open ending. And I still love canon to the last 5 seconds. My fan is going to be living on. Please don't try to destroy others' careers, like Joaquin and Lawrence. Like, please don't. That's not cool. Please don't do that. I know Lawrence and Spider-Verse, and people have been saying that's a really good movie, and I need to get on that, because I think it looks good. The animation is clean and beautiful, and I love Spider-Man. If you love Tom Holland, if you like any type of Spider-Man, it's your go-to. You need to watch it. You feel what I mean? Oh, I just hit it. What else? Yeah, just in general. I've gotten to the point, especially with this fandom, because this is a discussion. It's gonna be quite long. You had something to eat. You probably should have got something to eat because this is like really long. I actually burned out in this fandom. I had to learn to not be on the internet all the time. I had to learn to take care of myself. I had to learn not everyone's gonna agree with me, so I'm just gonna say what I say, and if some people agree with me, great. If some people don't agree with me, well, ask them why don't you agree with me, and try to have a discussion out of that and make equal groundings. Because, again, I might be a multi-shipper, I may love clans, but doesn't mean I'm gonna, like, make you like it because I like it. No, I want you to make your own opinion. It's just my opinion. You know what I mean? Like, I don't want you to feel obligated to like the same shit, therefore we can talk. No, I want you to have your own opinion. I want us to have the discussion. That's the beauty of a fandom. That's the beauty of why you have fandoms. There's the beauty of why we have, like, group chats online. Like, there's a reason why, how I see it. I'm I still love Lance. And, yeah, your thoughts. Like, I don't know what's up with the fandom anymore. Like, honestly, there's times I just see it go on fire, like a dumpster fire, and I just, like, leave the internet and play, like, my games and listen to, like, murder podcasts. Because I'm just so, like, I want to talk, but I'm also just, like, I want to be like Shiro. I'm going to Shiro out. I don't want to deal with this right now. I will deal with this once we hear all the sides, and I'm just, like, please stop. Because I still see a lot of people saying stuff, and look, if clans or sheep give you happiness, whether you write about them, draw about them, hell, I have my own version of clans, and I love them very much. Keep doing it. Just keep doing it. That's the beauty of you being a creator or writer or fan artist. Like, do whatever you want, because fanon is your own take on the canon. Now, do all canons rock? Yes. Have you seen Percy Jackson? Pretty rocks. I like it. We have Boku no Hero Academia. I love that. I'm so behind the manga, but my god. Who stands Deku, Torodoki, and Kiri? Because I do. Like, I love Bakugo, but Kiri, Torodoki, and Deku are my kids, and I love them very much. And, I also believe, too, in any type of fandom, like food for thought, if you're going to go to any other fandom, 2019, please realize, too, that stories and characters go hand in hand in canon. Now, do some stories fall short, like Voltron? Yes, but the characters are great. Like, you can't dismiss that. Also, the story was very compelling in the beginning for Voltron. I just think a lot of stuff happened as to why the ending was very disappointing for everyone. To an extent. Like, to a huge chunk of the fandom, to an extent. I don't know everyone in the fandom. This is just what I've experienced and my opinion on it. But I love the world we did get from Voltron. I just wish we got more, and I wish it was longer. I think that's the biggest thing you can take from the whole Voltron, the Legendary Defender experience, because that's what actually happened. And man, I love the people who I founded, who befriended me, mutuals online, YouTubers who I've reacted to. I love all their content, and it's amazing that Voltron has brought older fans and newer fans together as one. I think that's amazing through all different ages, and I think that's really an awesome positive thing to come out of it. You know, do we have discourse? Do we fight? Yes. But you can still find people like you in it. Because for the longest time, for me, I never knew, like, I finally learned what's my ideals and beliefs in this fandom, and I feel like it was a journey, like Shiro's the journey. I felt like I was looking for people like me, and I finally found them, and it's really great to know, like, I have people who feel the same way I do. We may have different preferences, but we can still agree on things and talk about things. And I think that's really great. I still love interacting with the voice actors. I think they're all sweet. I just really want to spread more positivity and, like, discussions about it, because discussions are important. Whether you talk about cartoons, okay, I'm not gonna bring up politics, but you know what I mean. It's just, like, discussions are important for a reason. You learn from one side to the other. So, Yeah. So Voltron Season 8, 3 hours. I still love it. And if you plan to watch it, even though you know of this ending, my food for thought for you, and hope the only message you get from this video, again, I'm still in the middle. I have explained my reasonings why. Is to literally watch it and make your own opinion out of it. I think that's what a lot of people should do. Especially, like, yeah, you love a fandom, hear others' opinion, but just watch it for yourself and make your own opinion on it, because I think that's better. Because I feel like when I tell someone something about the show, they're like, oh, then that means I have to like it. Like, no, make your own opinion. That's not cool. Like, just make your own opinion. It's fine. I'm not gonna hate you for it. I'm gonna be willing to have a discussion with you. That's what I love about it. And I hope you guys have a great morning, day, afternoon. Stay chill and be positive. Even when things like shows like this and fandoms like this are like this, just be the positive light you want to see. Make your space how you want it to be. I hope you guys again have a great day or night. Stay chill, be positive, and I hope to see you again in future reviews for other shows. I hope to do that for 2019. Also, look out for inspired stories of mine. Yeah, okay. Love you guys. Bye.